Oh, hi there. I'm going to take a look at Yae Miko, and not sure how you feel about her, but she was seemingly received pretty poorly by the community due to some long rotations, lengthy field time requirements, things like that. And I also recently got C6 Raiden, and so I know this isn't going to apply to most people, but for the sake of science, I wanted to see if I could use C6 Raiden to solve some of Yae Miko's biggest issues. So what does her C6 do? Well, it reduces Yae Miko's cooldown from 22 seconds to 17 seconds. Now, that does solve some rotation issues. She now fits into Raiden's 18-second rotation, but it doesn't solve all the issues, including the field time. So I'm introducing Chongyun. Now this is important because it takes Yae Miko's burst cooldown to under 14 seconds, which is the duration of her totems. So what this means is, if you can cycle back through and get to Yae Miko in under 14 seconds, you can skip casting her skill 3 more times in a rotation. That just makes her so much smoother and cuts her field time dramatically. So you'll see I cut back to her and I get to burst and get the totems down and get all 3 of those extra hits without casting her skill again. And all of this lines up beautifully. Now, Raiden C6 doesn't apply to herself, but Chongyun's C2 does. And so this takes Raiden's 18-second cooldown down to about 15 seconds. And so everybody's skills and bursts all fit in pretty neatly into a 15-second rotation. And interestingly, Yae Miko is not the one extending it. We're actually getting it all done before Raiden can burst again in about 15 seconds. Now you'll see I obviously have weak weapons, so I don't kill this thing so quickly. And I over-tuned the energy recharge, but I did overdo it. Bennett is probably a flex slot, although I didn't try anybody else. He's obviously a good fit here for this team, so I would recommend it if you do try this out. So this next clip, I just wanted to demonstrate how tight the rotation can be. So you go with Yae and you cast her skills, do your Chongyun and Bennett. And then what I'm going to do here is after I go through Raiden, I'm just going to show you how long you have to cast Yae's burst before you lose the totems and you have to cast her skill 3 times again. So it's a little bit tight, so here's Raiden, and then I can go back to Chongyun and Bennett, and I'm just going to stand here with Yae, and you'll see at about a second to cast, so make sure you get that done, otherwise you'll have to cast those again. You don't want to do that. And so once you tune the energy recharge, this actually loops very quickly, very smoothly back into Raiden, and again about a 15-second rotation. I'm just going to do 2 rotations. Again, the damage is really weak because the weapons are low level. So I'm going to go through Raiden and go back through Bennett and Chongyun again, and then back to Yae Miko. You'll see here, everything's like off a cooldown. The energy recharge is tuned in. They all can cast it. I only get to cast Yae's skill 3 times. Instead of 6 times in a rotation, and then back to Raiden to finish him off. And again, this could keep cycling back through, and again, only ever having to cast Yae Miko's E 3 times in 1 rotation. And so that does it. To me, this was a fun experiment, not to be the new meta or why you should wail for C6 Raiden, but to me it does make Yae Miko feel much smoother. It's very fast, it's a very fun team, and I think gives use to some, seemingly overlooked constellations if you have C6 Raiden. And also Chongyun gets some use here, which he doesn't usually. And again, it just makes Yae Miko feel that much smoother. But that'll do it for me. Thank you. Take it easy. Peace.